Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever. The show, the Bill Crane Report, is on the air with my good friend Wayne Weiss and I. And I'm going to start with something that just broke on Fox News.
Okay, I don't watch TV in the morning, so I don't have it.
Yeah, the government has been working with credit card companies to research customers who go to Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's, looking to find out whether any of them were part of the January 6th mess in Washington. Can you imagine them doing that? Is that invasive or what?
I'm not sure so much about invasive, but is why?
Oh,
Why?
guns.
Yeah, but
They're looking for the gun nuts that might have been involved in that.
well, how can they tell now by going to home or Bass Pro what happened a couple months ago or a year ago?
Well, they're asking these people to give us a list of your gun buyers. The names of the people that have been buying guns, so that we can compare them to the list of people that we think were involved in January 6th. I mean, it's some far-flung, stupid thing that
probably,
someone is doing. But the fact that they're going to the credit card company and invading our privacy without a warrant
Well,
strikes me as...
if you look at you look at your application when you got the credit card, you gave them permission to do it.
I know.
So when these things happen,
Don't
you
think
brought it on. Or not
don't-
you, but I mean, we brought it on ourselves.
I don't think it's right. So, anyway, so they're chatting about that.
Actually, I don't see. When it comes to the January 6th, I think anybody that had a weapon in their hand or a stick or a baton or was trying to beat up those cops and stuff, throw the key away.
Oh, sure. Oh, no question. No question. But that is, you buy things. Now, for instance,
Well, I can see what you're talking about too.
yeah,
but
when the credit card companies were approached by the FBI, and the FBI is looking for certain people that they felt were people that were threatening the government, the credit card company said, no, you're not going to do that. We're not going to do work with you. And there was that big flap about that, about privacy and all that. And we're not going to give you the codes too.
yeah, see, there's a fine line that you got to draw sometimes between, you got a mass bomber or something that you could get information from a credit card or a cell phone, and they won't give it to you. Well, this guy might go out and blow up 50 more people tomorrow, or do you give it to him? But
I agree with you totally. It is a very hazy
yeah,
situation. I see both sides of it. But I also see anti-gunners every place, really stepping over the bounds, I think.
what's going to happen with NRA now that?
Isn't that
LaPierre
great?
is gone?
That's the best news that I've had.
They needed to get rid of him because
Yeah.
he ruined that organization.
He did. They went from 5 million
Yeah.
members down to 4.3.
Yep.
And they kicked him out. I'm sure of that.
Oh, I'm sure too.
He left kicking and screening.
They lost sight of their
Objective.
objective
Yeah.
business plan.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
I mean, $2,800 custom-made suits, private jet, flying around.
Yeah.
Look, he abused his position, and damn it all, it took what, 2.5 or 3 years to
That's
get
right.
him out of there. Ollie North blew the whistle on that. When they made Ollie North president, they should have said to themselves, what are we wishing for here? Because Ollie bit them right in the butt by saying, look at what this guy is doing. This is wrong.
That's right. He was
And
just-
then it was, you're out the door, Ollie.
Yeah, it was a personal banking account for him.
By the way, in one of the articles I read about this, it was an article about 2 weeks ago. He has repaid over $1 million. Now, how about that?
Yeah, well, you know somebody who pays $1 million, they stole $5.
That's exactly right. Exactly. So, and then he still tried to hang on.
Oh, I know.
I guess when you get used to that.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. So interesting thing, Dwayne. Holiday shopping for 2023 has come in at a 5.6% increase over the prior year.
Yeah.
In the prior year, it was 5.8%. So it's damn close to what we did the year before. With all this talk about
Yep.
inflation,
Yep.
tough times coming.
Recession may be coming, maybe
Yeah.
not. But people just said, the hell with it, I'm going to buy it.
Do you know that I think there's an awful lot of people that will continue dancing as long as the music plays.
You're right.
And whether it makes fiscal sense or not, and you can look at the credit card companies and the average balances that people are carrying.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
It's scary.
Unbelievable.
Scary amazing.
So you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Cold weather.
One of my
Are
least-
you tempted to buy an electric car?
Not a chance.
Not a chance with me either. This is one of the biggest shams ever foisted on the American public.
I should say there's only one exception. If I suddenly had a windfall from the lottery, I don't know, a million,
Yeah,
billions,
you
and millions, millions
hit a
dollars,
scratch
and I'm
off
looking
for
for
$4 million.
or I'm looking for a plaything for.
Yeah.
I might buy one of them new Porsches with electric ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because you're not going to go anywhere. You're not taking that on a long trip. Yeah, that's just to play in the
Now,
summertime.
I'm going to tell you something. I would never buy one of those. I have tried at auto shows to get into them.
I've tried that
I can't
too.
do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what is a car that is a very nice car, that's very highly rated? It really is a dandy car, is the Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Well, try to get in it, Dwayne.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've tried most of these.
Holy cow. So fine,
I have trouble getting in the new Camry.
yeah,
They lowered them about 3
yeah.
inches. And
Well, yeah,
you couldn't sit in it.
I couldn't. You know what I found? And when they lower those cars and you park beside a sidewalk and you're up and you try to get down, you just simply can't do it.
That's right.
What I did with the Civic at the auto show, which is coming up next month in Providence, that's
Okay.
always a good take, is I had to reach in, grab the release for the steering wheel, and raise the steering wheel up. Then I could get in.
Get under the steering
and then
wheel.
you had to bring it down but I had to run the seat all the way back. But the car itself is a nice car. But what the hell good is it if you can't fit in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I've had my turn one time, and I told you, I went to Vegas and I got a GT 500 Mustang. And you want to see Monica and I getting in and that thing? That was a joke. I mean, we almost had to roll in and roll out on the ground to get out of it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it was
They're-
fun, and
They're built for girls and half pints, I
yeah,
guess.
that was for little thin guys,
Yeah.
and shorter.
Well, one of the things with the EVs that's coming to light is they now, Norway, the country in Norway, has told their people that EVs lose 20% of their battery charge in cold weather.
And that's probably conservative.
Very conservative, because they did a thing out in Chicago. It lost 41% of
Yeah.
the charge overnight.
I not too long ago, I was at the bank one morning, and this woman pulls in next to me with a new the new Mustang electric one.
Oh yeah.
And first I saw a picture, I said, God, they ruined that car. They look a lot better real
Yes.
in life than they do on photos. So, you know, I got to ask her, what do you think of that? She said, oh, we've had it since the day it came out. She said, it's all right. She said, but I said, how far do you go on this? She says, well, they say 280 or 290. She says, but we never pushed that. And she says, but in the wintertime, we half that. And she says, just about, it gives us a little safe margin, just like you said, about 40%. She said, if it's 290, we figure about 150, 160 before we start getting uncomfortable with it.
Out in Chicago, Fox News did a whole thing one day about it. And people are getting in fights at charging stations.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And one guy cut the line, and it caused a huge fight.
Well, it
and all
takes so
that.
long. It's not like pulling into a gas pump when you
Well.
got 3 minutes and you're full.
Here's the thing. People are really getting PO'd when people do that,
Yep.
because they've cut it too thin, and they actually run out of power sitting there.
Yeah,
Especially in the wintertime, you sit there with the heater on,
that's right.
and it just keeps going.
No, I'm not comfortable with it.
No, I wouldn't buy one of those things.
Except maybe for a play car, like I said before.
You know, to see what it's like to go 0 to 60
Yeah.
in 2.8 seconds. Yeah, I'd do that once.
Yep. But as a primary vehicle, no way.
It's not. And in fact, that's very incisive of you, because what they have found with Tesla, it's either a second or a third car.
Oh yeah,
in the family.
The initial sales were very good on these because they were let's buy one because our neighbors don't have one yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cute and all
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
It's very expensive to do the body work on.
Oh, I imagine.
Oh, and the battery replacement, $10,000 to $15,000.
Yes. And I see Buick had having a shake-up with their dealers now.
Yeah.
What I read was that I don't know whether they got 2,300 dealers or something in
Probably.
the country, and of course the sales are down in Buick.
Yeah.
Because Buick survived because it was the primary car that the Chinese wanted. They were shipping just tens of thousands of them to China, and now that has switched. They're buying their own stuff now. So the sales are going down, and plus Buick has announced that in 2027, not too far down the road, they're going to stop internal combustion. They're going to be all electric.
There's the kiss of death right there.
And the dealers are going, oh no, because it costs anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 for a dealer to convert from an internal combustion engine just to bring his shop up to go to electric. Mm-hmm. And these guys says with declining sales and stuff, not going to do it. And so Buick is buying these guys out.
Yeah. What's interesting is Toyota has reversed themselves totally. Yep. Yeah. They said we're going to go all electric by 2030 and all that. Whoops, forget about it. We're going to keep building gas jobs, and we find that the hybrid is a much better solution. And you know what, Dwayne? Your Camry, if you buy another one and you get the hybrid with all-wheel drive, you get 47 on the highway.
That's been Toyota's Consumer Reports.
That's right, the Prius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the hybrids. Toyota.
And they
Lexus.
finally restyled the Prius where it almost looks like an automobile now.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Now. I mean, there's some hot-looking Priuses out there, but
I
again,
still-
getting in and out
I
of those
can't get
things.
in and out of it either.
Yep.
But you know, I find the Camry to be very comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's big enough, and
Yeah.
it's
And very, very comfortable to drive.
well, I'm going to keep this. I got 30,300 on exactly to say.
I think you've got a car that will last you your lifetime.
Yeah, well, that's scary too when you think about that.
I buy the old ones and run them, and I hope that they'll
They've all got so expensive now.
They have.
Oh God.
ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, $55,000 for a Tesla?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, and you and I are paying for that.
Yeah.
With our taxes,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
they are given all of these.
$7,500 break on
Yeah.
this, and
Yeah,
plus they're not paying any gas tax. They're not building any roads.
yeah.
What are they going to do with that? You know?
Oh, by the way,
Are they-
that is biting some of the governors right in the butt. Wait a minute. Our gas tax dollars are going down
Well, of course
as
they are.
electric cars
Go
are
up.
going up. So I think what they'll end up doing is put an excise tax on electric cars.
Yeah, I would guess because
Yeah.
you can't. It's just not right to have one group pay for the other one.
That's right. That's right. Even though the taxpayers, are kicking in $7,500 for every one of those
That's
damn
right.
things that are sold.
And it's going primarily to the well-to-do.
Yeah, so we're underwriting the rich.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's madness. Absolute madness. So anyway, I don't want to repeat myself here, but now they are finding that the degradation of the charge can be as much as 41% overnight. And people are actually panicking, going to these charging stations and have sit in a line for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and run totally out of electricity and have to get people to help push them into the
It's not
this
for
is
me.
so stupid.
Yeah, I know.
And our elected officials down in New York, Washington, are
As far they just don't want to look at it either, because when they start telling you about the pollution and all the other, they may in the bottom line be a little different, but you're just taking the source of pollution from the tailpipe to the generating station.
to the battery manufacturers
And the battery
that are
manufacturers,
digging up
yeah.
all this.
Lithium and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's. I think the electrics are probably a minus when it comes to pollution.
If you
I-
add up
I-
all the incidentals and all the incrementals, you're probably right.
And then look at the additional costs that people are paying
Yeah.
out of their pocket.
Yeah.
The American people are getting screwed.
Plus, they're
There's
way
no-
more. They're harder on the roads.
Yep. Yep. They're less reliable.
Although I saw a thing that if Toyota's got a thing with their battery program, if that succeeds, it's going to shake the whole business up again.
Oh, yeah.
Because if that succeeds, there's going to be no use for lithium.
That's right. Oh, by the way, what they're saying now is, folks, you can prevent these problems at the charging stations by having a charging station in your garage.
That's right.
Gee, the last time I did some research on the internet about that, $18,000 to $20,000
to have a quick charge
Gee,
put in.
and I paid $55,000 for the stupid car, so
Yeah.
that's $75,000. Oh, that's great! This is a real savings.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Bidenomics. By the way, thinking of stupid things, Is there anything stupider or more absurd than British judges and lawyers wearing those stupid wigs? Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
You know, we got to get a Brit in here to explain that to us. It's tradition.
Yeah, but why?
Why?
Why was the tradition to wear these big, stupid white wigs in the first place, even back in the colonial days? What was the purpose of it?
I don't know. Don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. By the way, I got a little sub-note here on this piece of paper. Customer preferences: 67% gas cars, 21% hybrids, 6% electric cars. That tells you the whole story right there. Stop listening to the people. Oh, another puzzling.
My son's going to look for a hybrid SUV.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's some dandies out there. A big, reasonably sized SUV that you can get 30 miles to the gallon with on the highway. Holy cow.
They're not particularly happy with their Audi.
Yeah.
That's going.
Oh, really? Audi and Mercedes-Benz owners that I've come in contact with don't really care for their car that much.
No.
And they don't like paying what they have to pay at the dealer.
Oh my God!
$275 for an oil change.
$275 to get out of the car. I think.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I had a friend that bought one brand new. He said, I got 150,000 miles on it. He said, I'm going to keep that thing and see if I can get payback out of it. But he says, I'm so far in the hole with that car. He said, I've replaced every damn part in that car over and over. He said, I'll never buy another one.
We still tease a friend of mine who lives in Texas, in the Austin area. He bought a new BMW. And it went maybe a year or so. And his wife got in one day to open the lock for some reason. You know the little thing that pops up? It broke. It pulled out of the thing. So he made her take it back to the dealer to put a new little plastic knob on. $82 they charged her. Well, Tom said that is me. That's me saying goodbye to a BMW.
Now, here's the thing. They at the dealership, they say, okay, the shop rate is $140 an hour.
Yep.
So if this takes a half an hour, $70 for labor,
Yep.
$2 for the part.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Well, ay.
He said, and then of course he says they wash the windows and they check the tires and all this, and he says you're paying, like you said, $100 and some an hour to do
And
that.
the clock is ticking for doing all that. Ay. Dwayne, I got another puzzler.
What? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You didn't help me much with the wigs, so here's another one. Why do Catholics, I don't know what Protestants do because I don't go to Protestant services, but a lifelong Catholic, why do Catholics not go down front, but instead sit in the back of the church, and the church always fills from the back to the front?
Yep.
What is it about sitting down front that scares the Catholics? It doesn't scare me because I sit in the second or third row, but
That's been something I noticed when I was kids. My parents used to go early so they get in the back.
really?
Oh yeah, back few rows. This was a long church. They didn't want to go
Yeah.
traipsing up front then, because and I don't think there was a side entrance to come in and on the side.
Okay.
That place. But that's a good point, and I have some theories on why.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I
That's
think.
why I ask.
Okay, now I went to Catholic school,
Yeah.
12 years, and I shouldn't say I enjoyed it because I found it tedious at times. But I had a lot of Protestant friends. I grew up with the Protestant people. And I believe that a lot of people, a lot of Catholics, go to church on Sunday because they're afraid not to go. They've been taught that if you miss Mass, it's a mortal sin and you're going to hell. So it's an obligation. It's not something they want. Most of them don't. If you said tomorrow in the Catholic community, all right, just go when you feel like it. You know, when you really feel like going, go. You'd have one hell of a big percentage drop in precipitation.
Oh, yeah.
Because so many of them are going because they have to go.
Well, they
think
feel they have to.
They
go.
feel
Yeah.
they have, but they're afraid not to go. And so a lot of them want to just sit in the back and they, okay, let's see, come on, let's go. You know, they're there because they have to, or they think they have to. And I think that's one of the reasons that you find that they sit in the back more than they do the front. Plus, they get out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fight the crowds. You know, you get in the car quick. You know, it's not as jammed up. I mean, for reasons other than church.
Yeah. The parking lot, especially if the parking lot is full and there's only like a couple of
Now,
exits.
on that same token, I and my friends, we used to talk about things, you know, and we came to the conclusion, as kids, that there's not a hell of a lot of Catholics in heaven. If you believed everything that you were taught, as a Catholic, you got so many pitfalls that one of them's going to get you. You might have ate meat on Friday. You might have missed Mass on Sunday. You might have missed Mass on the holy days of obligation. You may have not done something in Lent. All these things were mortal sins that your Protestant friends didn't have to do. There was nothing wrong with them. You go to hell, he goes to heaven, because you did you got trapped in one of these little, we call them traps. So, you know, you're bound to get trapped at some point.
It reminds me of the old joke. Bunch of Protestants were up in heaven and talking, and one guy had kind of a loud voice, and they said, hey, shh, shh, shh. Hold it down. And he says, why? He says, well, he said, over on the other side of that wall is the Catholics.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to hear us because they think they're the only ones allowed up here.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
Well, all right. I think that you've done a good job answering that question.
How much do I get for it?
Oh, well, you'll get another question.
Oh, well, okay.
But I also think, too, that especially women that wear high heels, clunking down the center aisle, tend to say, I don't want to do that. Everybody's going to turn and look at me. And
That's true, too. That's
yeah.
Now, that brings into high heels.
Yep.
Why?
Because I think it goes back to, you get dressed up to go to church. Now, I don't think that God cares whether I wear a flannel shirt to church or whether I have a shirt and tie on. I think he's more interested in what's in my heart.
Well,
But, okay, so I get another question for you.
Okay, go
this
ahead.
is just going to be question and answer here.
it's like Jeopardy here.
Donald Trump
Yep.
bombed the opposition in Iowa.
Yep.
51%. DeSantis got 21.
Yep.
Healy got 19 and Ramaswamy gets 7. So,
Hutchinson's got 2 or something.
yeah,
Some crazy
a couple
thing.
of, yeah.
2 people.
So the exit polling, I thought was very interesting. in Iowa. Now, maybe it wasn't as extensive as some of the other exit polling that they do with the, but because these caucus things are, I don't know. But, so do you think you can name the number one issue? There's 4, okay?
You mean on the exit poll?
Yeah, in the exit poll. Can you think you can give me the 4?
Oh, I'd probably not. Immigration,
Number 1.
economy,
Number 2.
abortion.
No.
No, that one didn't make it. Let's see, immigration, economy.
What's going on overseas?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Foreign policy.
Foreign policy, foreign aid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And number
I
4,
didn't think of that.
healthcare.
Healthcare, okay.
Healthcare. Now, something I wasn't aware of, but Humana, the big insurance company out in the West Coast, it was a huge drop in their price this morning on the stock market. And it was because they said profits are way down because medical costs are going straight up.
Crazy.
And that is why healthcare was on there. People are feeling it. The grassroots people are feeling it.
I'm hesitant to read much into the caucus stuff. There are some factors in there, and particularly this one in Iowa. You got a big factor with the weather, and you had to be really motivated because you saw that was some nasty.
Oh,
it still is. I mean, bitter,
wind chill
cold.
factors of 12 degrees,
Oh,
minus
below,
12. Yeah,
20 below.
Yeah.
Blowing dangerous winds and stuff.
Yep.
And they said
Anybody that's over the age of 65 that went out in that weather
Crazy.
is insane.
That's right.
Yep.
They said yesterday that 14.7% of the caucus of eligible voters voted.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's, did Trump's loyal group bite the bullet and go out and do it?
I think they
I
did.
did too. I think they were more motivated than DeSantis or
Healy, yeah.
Her group was.
You're right. The MAGA, but the MAGAs are younger
Yep.
and they are rabid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
So
for the most part, they're the blue collar, hardworking. That storm? What storm?
yeah,
You
you're
know,
right. Yeah.
We own a Jeep.
Throw that
Not
thing
a-
in a four-wheel
Not,
drive.
I'll take the tractor out.
Right. An ad that drives me insane. But, women are a puzzling bunch. This is going to win us some new friends.
Well, that's an age-old supposition there. That men never understand women.
Right. But I sure as hell don't understand this. The ads on TV. Convert your bathroom into a jacuzzi deal. And the overhead sprinkler system shower and everything. And it shows the women going into the shower. And all of them wear a bathrobe in
I
the shower.
mentioned that. I said, honey, you better take that bathrobe off first.
Why do women wear those bathrobes into the shower?
Because I don't think the FCC would let them show it on TV if they didn't.
Oh, you mean they... you really think they do take those things off before they shower?
I suspect so.
Oh, man. Well, it shows
Well, I'll tell you.
I've been in the dark for years.
One time at a National Hardware show, I don't know who was Kohler or one of the shower people, had, the loops. They have their films going and stuff. They had a shower down there with a woman taking a shower, and she didn't have any bathrobe on. And you know what? They had 30 or 40 people in that booth all the time watching that loop. I said, there were some smart people that got gutsy, but they drew a lot of attention.
When I worked for Foxborough, and went to the trade shows, the big ISA show,
Yep.
Instrument Society of America, and valves and stuff. Fisher valves. They were number one in valves. And they also had instrumentation too.
Now, I don't know if it was Kohler, it was somebody like,
Yeah.
it was one of the big plumbing things.
But Fisher was really good. The guys would say, let's take a walk down the Fisher booth and look at the hookers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They always had 6 or 7
Yeah.
or 8 hot girls in there.
Some of the people at Hardware Show did that too. Just
Oh, can I give you some literature on that? What kind of valves do you use?
Yeah.
They didn't know the answers, but they were going to pass the literature, and the guys are going, oh yeah, give me some literature. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, by the way, these jacuzzi bath remodeling people, we are giving you 50% off installation costs.
that. Okay, go ahead with that. That is not just the bath, but
And no interest and no payments for 1 year.
okay. That's a good selling point.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when the interest does kick in, that first year is in there.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
miss that first payment, you
Yeah.
got to pay it off 100% at the end of the year.
Yep.
If you miss $1, you own the
Yep.
whole.
But by the same token, if they are missing a certain percentage by doing that, well, guess what? When it reverts into the second year, that interest rate is high enough to recoup all of that.
Oh, easy. Oh, yeah. Now, your first half of that supposition is the interesting one, which I have often questioned. Who the hell buys a new bathroom without installation? What, do you go down there and get 100 boxes and drag them home and stick them up and do them yourself? Just like that gutter guard and all that
All
gutter
that
king.
crap, yeah.
50% off installation. Well, I sure as hell am not going down and buying 200 feet of gutter and putting it up myself.
Yep.
I would assume that the price that I got for the gutters or the bathroom included somebody putting it in.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those phantom charges.
When I put new windows in, they didn't say, well, this is so much for the window and so much for the installation.
Yeah.
It was just one price.
Yep. And by the way, ask them what the installation charges are that I'm getting this 50% savings on. Yeah. Well, it's all part of the bid package, you see.
Yeah. You got to be real careful, and we got to listen carefully to some of these things. Another one that's out now, it's in a car ad. Several of them are doing it. They will say, save $2,400 on this vehicle. And the way you save $2,400 is that the interest rate on the loan was normally 7.99, and that now they'll give it to you for 3.99 for a while. So they say, well, people are going to finance 90% of the car. That comes out to $2,400 savings.
Exactly.
That's not a savings. That's just a redoing your interest.
Yeah.
And if you don't finance, or you don't find that much, you don't get that kind of savings.
And you know, when you sit down with the car dealers,
Oh,
I mean, you know that you're in for a battle.
yeah.
And so they have to have these phony costs up here so they can say, all right, you win. All right, I'll knock. We usually finance rate is 8.9. I'll give it to you for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got a bank that's giving it to them for 3.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
I got, when I bought the Camry, we haggled and haggled and haggled.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, no, that's too much. I'm just not going to do it. And I said, well, I told my wife, I said, let's go. I said, let's go back up to Milton, and or Milford rather. And she's, no, wait. So another guy come out, You know, he was even slicker than the first guy. He looked more mafia yet. So he says, you know, he says, we can make a deal with extended warranty. I said, okay.
Boy,
The extended warranty was not a national warranty. It was just with that,
him,
their dealer.
the dealership.
So I took it, you know, it was extended by 18 months, I think, beyond the. I said to Monica, that ain't costing them a damn thing. Because the chances are of getting a warranty call or a warranty claim is thin. And if they're doing it themselves, the cost is negligible. But it was something, so.
Yeah, and you know, you felt like you won something.
Yeah, but I didn't really win
But you
anything.
really didn't. No.
Plus, I was too damn lazy to go back up to Milford.
Yeah, I got out of the service, and I said, well, all right. Rather than buy an old clunker, I think I'll buy a new car. So I went up to Rodman Ford, and the salesman said, what are you interested in? I said, you know, a Galaxy 500, two-door hardtop, V8, automatic. Mm-hmm. He says, you're talking about my demo.
Oh, this is your day.
Yep. Come outside. Let me show you my demo. And he had a beautiful car. It was dark green, medium dark green. Beautiful car. 8,000 miles on it. So he said, hop in. Let's take it for a ride. So I did. I drove it. And so I stepped on the gas. I stopped at a stop sign. And I stepped on the gas and took my foot off the gas. And there was a
Mm-hmm.
I said, gee, that sounds kind of ominous. Oh, he said the bands need to be tightened.
Yeah, they always have an excuse.
So, back in those days, remember that they did do that.
Yeah,
But,
with the whole automatic transmissions were.
So he says to me, tell you what, the sticker's 29 something or 31 something. Mm-hmm. He said, how's $2,500 sound to you? I said, well, it's got 8,000 miles on it, and the transmission is bulky.
Yeah, he was talking hundreds, not thousands when he said
yes.
that. Yeah. Today, you'd think it would be thousands.
Yeah. So he says 8,000 miles on it? We'll spin it right back to zero. I said, okay. How about the transmission? I'll put it in the shop and have them tighten the bands. You can drive it again before you sign the papers. I said, let me think about it. Well, don't think too long. $2,400 is a good price. Or $2,500, whatever he told me. I said, yeah, let me think about it. How much is that a month and all that? Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I'm heading out the door. Bill, come back here. I just called the sales manager. How's $2,400 sound? I said, sounds like you're getting there, but I still want to sleep on it. 23? I got home. I said, I'm thinking on it. I got home.
Got to call back, didn't you?
Called.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. By the time I got home, the phone was ringing. He said, 2,300. I said, I told you I'm going to sleep on it. Half an hour later, I got him down to 2,200, Bill.
Yeah. Well, if you got him down to 2,200, how come you didn't say that when you were sitting across the desk from me? That always irritated me.
Yeah, that really peed me off.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the best price I can, Bill. Okay? $2,500. And less than, I'd say 3 hours later, it was down to 2,200.
Yep.
So anyway, I thought about it. He called a couple more times. I said, look, I'm going to go to the hockey game tonight. The Bruins are playing. I said, and I got a date the following night. I said, maybe Saturday I'll come over and we'll figure something out. I don't know if Saturday he had sold it.
You know,
So,
you never know, and the first time you never know where the bottom is on these kind of things.
that's right.
And the first time I ever ran into that, and I thought this was so smart. This guy, his name was David Sandler. He owned Town Paint, and that was part of Ashmont Supplies.
Okay, yeah.
They were all that same family, that Sandler family. And he had when you sold the Town Paint, you sold to Ashmont, and there was another chain in there
Yep.
too. So it was a lot of stores, and he did just huge volume of business. But he had this hard, fast rule. When you sit down and you give me a price, that better be the bottom price, or else I'm not dicking around. If it's not the price, you're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And so you knew when you went in there, you just went bare bones and gave it to him. He either said yes or he said no, and he usually said yes because he did. If you were a good vendor and you did a good job, he could trust that is the lowest price that you're going to go. I was in there one day and had this waiting room. There's about 10 people waiting to see him, you know. And all of a sudden, I was with Stanley. I hear this, Stanley, what? Get in here. I come in. He says, tell this guy what happens if you don't give him the bottom price. I says, he throws your ass out the door. Right. He says, get out. This guy made the mistake. He said, well, could you, here's my bottom price, whatever, what? And David said, well, I need a better, well, let me see what I can do. And you dug around in here and you come up with a better price. You don't do that with David. If you told him it was $2, you stuck to $2, even if you could go to $1.50.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was going to throw you about it. Because it's true.
Yeah.
You never know where the bottom is.
Exactly. And that's why I hated dealing with these guys. One tire I bought had a sticker of 48, and by the time we got through, I bought it for 41.
Mm-hmm.
$700.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had put extras on it, undercoating and all. Oh man.
David was a fun guy.
Yeah.
Once you knew what he was doing and how he was going to do it, it was great. You could take him and tell him, here, I got this deal on this, and he says, yeah, give me 2,800 of them. Stanley had they still do a famous little pocket knife, a little utility knife called the 99 knife. And for years, David would sell that for 99 cents. A 99 knife, it was 99 cents. Well, the price I went in there and the price went up to $1.06 or $1.07. I don't care, he says. I'll take them. He said, I'm still going to sell them for 99 cents. He said, because it drives the other competitors crazy. How can he sell that knife and sure enough, I was getting every place I went to. How can Sandler sell that for 99 cents? We're paying $1.07. You must be giving him something. No, he gets $1.07 like everybody else. But he just loved yanking everybody's chain.
Smart guy.
Oh yeah, he was a smart guy. Unfortunately, I saw him. I just happened to open up the obits on the Boston Globe a couple of years ago, and there he was, David Sandler. He passed away. He was 97, 98 years old when he finally died. But
it's amazing. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I was thinking of something strange, but we'll get to it later.
Okay.
Oh boy. So now, are you ready?
I am ready. I've never been so ready in my life.
What would you rather hold, a tarantula or a snake?
Oh, Jesus. Well, I think tarantulas, because I read that they don't necessarily bite you. If you don't squeeze them, they'll just walk around.
Oh, okay.
And people I'm not afraid of snakes, but I don't like snakes. And the thought of it biting me, even if it's not poisonous snake, kind of gives me the willies. And I know they tend to bite.
All right. If you could only use one eating utensil, would you choose a spoon or a fork for every meal?
Spoon.
Okay, me too.
Because if
Because
you, fork's going to eliminate all the liquids.
That's right. Would you rather have the ability to become invisible or the ability to fly?
Oh boy, I'm afraid. I thought of when you said invisible. I said I bet the other choice is going to be flying. Well, oh God, if I tell you why I was going to rather be invisible and no nefarious reasoning here.
We can get in a lot of trouble with being invisible.
Yeah. I was thinking about going to a casino and reaching over and taking the roulette wheel or put a little ball and moving it, but. I guess at my age, I better fly.
Okay. I'd become invisible.
We become invisible.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, I know. Eat the same breakfast every day or the same dinner every night?
Same breakfast. I practically do that now.
Yeah. Me too. I could have scrambled eggs and toast and coffee for the rest of my
'cause
life
I
and
get
be
asked.
happy as a clam.
Don't you ever get tired of that?
No.
Not really.
No. Marry for love or for lots and lots of money?
Oh God.
This one is fraught with danger too.
You're
let me
not
tell
kidding.
ya.
It is. Well, I'm good. I got to assume that the question implies that if you go for love, you're marrying a
Your high school sweetheart.
high school sweetheart. Hell, I mean married for money.
Oh,
That you're going to compromise on the
love and the things.
and the disposition of the other individual and stuff. In that case, it probably have to be married for love, because those that married for the other for money and it wasn't a fit usually doesn't last. One or the other, they're miserable, and or one ends up killing the other.
Yeah, and not only that, but you also hear, have you forgotten who's got the money in this
Oh yeah,
family?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's all part of the.
I don't think that would not be a good fit.
But I used to tell my son, I said, when you got to go get married, if you're marrying for love, you can marry a rich love or a poor love. Just as you can marry richer and just as easy as a poor.
I told my boys, I said, you can love the rich ones just
right.
as well as the poor ones. Would you prefer to date a law student or a med student?
Med student.
She can staunch the bleeding,
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah, exactly, and
But the law student will keep you out of jail,
maybe
maybe.
fine, Bill.
Would you choose to master the piano or the guitar?
Piano.
Yeah, me too.
I found it much more difficult.
Would you prefer to be feared by all or loved by all?
Loved by all.
Okay. Would you like to study in a group or alone?
Alone.
Me too.
I never could work in study groups. I always got so distracted, and we ended up doing all kind of other stuff.
It turned out to be a fiasco.
Yeah.
See the future or change your past?
See the future, because if you're changing your past, it's really not going to change your.
It's all done.
It's
I
done.
mean,
It's- yeah.
you might be able to smooth over problems that
Yeah.
you've had, but
Overall,
if you see the future, you can avoid the problems.
That's right. And you could set yourself up for.
Here's one here that's difficult. See the future, or, no, wait a minute. Be immortal and never see your family again, or have your family in your life?
The latter, because there's been cases of stories, like Twilight Zone or something, where he can't die.
Yeah.
I mean, and after a while, they got to come on. Let's go.
Yeah, you get tired of this
Yeah.
crap. Live by the lake or live by the ocean?
At one time, it would have been live by the ocean, but now I would rather live by the lake because of storms and
They're encroaching.
yeah, and your house insurance going through the roof.
Be able to play an instrument well or sing well?
Instrument.
I choose singing well. I can't sing worth a damn.
I can't either.
Interesting little news note here. Black support of Biden slips from 87 support to 63% support. People are concerned about their wallets,
Oh, absolutely.
their
yeah.
finances.
When it comes
And-
went down to the nitty gritty, the concern of the concern of the voter today, they'll give you all these, this and that, but it's how much does it affect me and my family personally?
Yeah.
That's what really counts. And
That's right. And that is something I'm not sure Brother Biden understands. Donald Trump understands it because he's trumpeting that.
Yeah.
What did it cost you when I was president? What is it costing you now?
Yeah.
It's like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Are you better 4
Yeah.
years later after this? One other thing too, we were talking about electric cars. There's an article here, I won't go through it because you and I touched on most of it. Electric cars should be a choice, not a mandate.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But see, if the choice could be taken away from you
Exactly.
if they stop making internal
Well,
combustion.
that's the thing.
You have
Yeah.
no choice.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, I've got a rather lengthy one here, and I think we'll take a break instead.
Good idea.
So, folks, we'll be right back after a short break.